Good morning. This is Bob Icino along with Mike Arnold from Path Trading Partners. This is a morning FX update for May 9th. Some overnight developments. We have the VIX, the fear index, at its lowest level in 24 years, lowest level since 1993. That seems to be, well, I don't want to put too much opinion in this, but that seems to be ridiculous to me. I don't feel like we have the least amount of risk that we've had in 24 years, including prior to the financial crisis, including prior to any of the great terrorist attacks, any of those things. It just seems a little bit stretched to me in terms of the downside of the VIX, but we'll see. Right now, according to speakers at the Sohn conference that we heard yesterday, including former Federal Reserve Governor Kevin Warsh, he believes the market is riskiest when measures of risk are low. And right now we have, again, the lowest level in 24 years. Commodities continue to fall, including iron ore, which fell another 1.8% between yesterday's trade and overnight. It tried to rebound a little bit, but that rebound obviously was not sustainable. It's likely to pull the rest of the base metals and probably drag the precious metals down with it as well. Markets overnight are mixed. We did have some data come out overnight. Swiss unemployment rate came in as expected, 3.3 on the headline number. German industrial production year over year came out a little bit lower, 1.9. You see the euro falling here on Mike's chart. And German trade balance ramped up a tiny bit, but the market is paying much more attention to the industrial production number. We've got Canadian building permits month over month. That's for March. And then we've got U.S. wholesale inventories. That's today at 9 o'clock Central Time. The Canadian numbers at 7:30 Central Time. Those are both March numbers, so they matter less for what we're looking at least, because we want to really pay close attention to April numbers, given what the Fed has said about the first quarter weakness being transitory. Tonight, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern Time, Chinese consumer prices year over year. You're going to want to watch that closely because we do have the idea of Chinese weakness kind of spreading, and there's some fears of a Chinese economic contagion. Those fears are small right now, but they're starting to spread. I'm starting to hear those talked about a lot more. And then a little earlier than that, 6:50 Central, 7:50 Eastern, the Bank of Japan summary of opinions from their April 26th, 27th Bank of Japan meeting. So we'll see if anything interesting comes out of that. But the most interesting thing, I think, today that hasn't come out already, short of the German industrial production, is the Canadian Consumer Price Index. So we'll see how that comes out. In the meantime, let me turn it over to Mike to let you know what he's seeing on the charts. Mike, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Euro, US dollar, continuing lower. Big three-day reversal so far. Right now trading down right near our significant level at 108.78 to 80 area. On a continued push lower, 108.65 is going to be next level down, then 108.52. If that is broken, next major significant level we'll be watching for is 108.20. On a rally back up, minor resistance around this 108.88 level, followed by 109.08. Followed by 109.30, which is prior major resistance that was broken, provided some resistance again today. And then if that is broken, we're looking for a possible return to about the 109.50 area. Over to the pound. The pound has pulled back to this pretty critical area, 129.11 to 129.04. Retest this trend line. We'll see if it does end up rotating back up and kiss it goodbye, also finding support from the rising trend line. If this area does not hold and the pound US dollar heads lower, we'll look at 128.80 as the next level, then 128.33 area where we have another Gann level and rising 21, and just above this nice little pivot low here. If all those levels eventually don't hold, we're watching down to about 127.69. On a rally back up, we're really looking for minor resistance around 129.80 to 83, then 129.89. Then if we get by these most recent swing highs, 130.67. US dollar, Japanese yen, pretty strong two-day move up so far. Looking to close in on the 25% prior resistance level at 114.01. If that is broken, 114.27 is the next level, and then 114.58 to 66, where we have a GAN level and a significant level coming in. On a pullback, 113.66 first level of support, next level of support right around the 113.26. Then we're looking down to about 113.04. And if those levels are all broken, 112.73, where we have a rising 8 and a GAN level. Over to the US dollar Swiss franc. Very strong multi-day up move in this. So let's remove this trend line. Now, on a continued move up in this next level of resistance is going to be about this 10054 right here, right? Then if that's violated, 10070, 10076, and finally 10081 is going to be a very strong resistance area. And then if that moves through, 10097. On a pullback, we have some support right around this 10034 to 36 area and the trend line it just broke through. And then we don't really have anything. There's going to be some minor support right around the 10022. And then we could possibly see a drop back to 99.97. So essentially the 1 mark to 99.92 would be very key support. We have a flat 200 coming in there, a 50% GAN level, another longer term 37.5 GAN level, and a prior target level. Aussie US dollar. So far headed lower today, traded through our 74.43 GAN level, down to a prior breakout zone, 73.37. Found some support just below that. On a continued move lower, that 73.37 is going to be key, followed by 73.20, and then we could possibly go all the way down to our significant level, 73.09. If that's violated, the next major area is 72.90. On a move back up, we have minor resistance right around the 73.43, then more pretty significant resistance coming in at this 73.67, followed by 73.81. Then we don't really have anything until a potential rally back to 74.15. US dollar, Canadian dollar came back down with this big move, sort of caught on this trend line, moving higher. We don't have a redraw of this trend line yet. So on a continued push higher, we're watching now for some minor resistance right around the 137.33, followed by a retest of this trend line, which can now be redrawn here. So we're looking for 137.57, followed by the 137.93 area up here. If it turns down and heads lower, support coming in at 136.90, followed by pretty strong support right around the 136.47 to 136.41 area right in here. Then we'd be looking, if that's broken, to drop to 136.24 and then possibly down to 136.01. Finally, US dollar, Mexican peso. Traded up yesterday at about the 12.5% GAN level, just closing slightly above it at 19.000. Rallied up a little bit today. Didn't quite get to the last major swing high of 19.2951. So if it does head higher, that's going to be the target level, then followed by 19.3502. On a move lower, very minor support right around, again, this 19.00. Then we'd be looking for the 19.1282, followed by the 19.0849. And then if all that's broken, a possible trade down to our significant level at 19.0277. That's all we have for you. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Mikey, and thanks to you guys for watching. We will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Cheers, everyone.